Many times it has been said that the ones who got rich from the gold rush of 1848 were the ones selling the picks and the shovels. And today, my CoinLinker friends, today is the day you are lucky enough to have found a pick and shovel to invest in. And that pick and shovel is Chainlink, my fellow CoinLinkers. This project is one of the few protocols on the Ethereum blockchain that solves a problem, an actual problem that has immense value for every industry that you can ever imagine, and it has the capability to be integrated into every industry that you can imagine today, so that all the blockchain technology projects that we know and love can actually come into fruition, okay? And you don't need to take my word for it, right? Because Capgemini said it first, right? If you're not in the IT field and you don't know who Capgemini is, quickly I'll tell you. Capgemini is a French multinational information technology consulting, they're like a big consulting corporation, and they're like one of the global leaders and conglomerates in IT consulting. And they wrote an entire 25-page outline talking about the benefits of smart contracts for financial institutions. And they actually mention Chainlink by name in that report. They had some really interesting statistics that they were reporting on concerning a select few industries. And they said that, for example, in the investment banking sector, in the trading and settlement of syndicated loans, corporate clients could benefit from shorter settlement cycles, and that would lead to an additional like 5% to 6% growth in the demand for the future, and an additional income of about $2 billion to $7 billion annually. In the retail banking sector, they reported that consumers could potentially expect savings of $480 to $960 per loan, and banks would be able to cut costs in the range of $3 billion to $11 billion annually by lowering like processing costs in the origination process. And they also reported in the personal motor insurance industry that smart contracts could result in $21 billion in annual cost savings globally through automation, reducing processing overheads and claims and handling. And they also said that, consumers could expect lower premiums because insurers will pass on those savings to the customer. Maybe that might happen. But anyway, those are some fine statistics, right? But one thing that they also reported on is something that is critical to all of this. And they said that the main barrier to institutions adopting smart contracts was interoperability with legacy systems and external data. And what just so happens to be the sole function of Chainlink? Chainlink. The name is so perfect. Chainlink. It's literally the link between blockchains and real-world application, okay? Hence the name Chainlink, right? You see, smart contracts will need to be able to work with trusted external data sources if they are to utilize external information. Smart contracts can achieve this with the help of oracles, right? If you don't know what an oracle is, oracles are programs that provide smart contracts with the data that they need from the external world to carry the commands that they need to send to other systems. So it's like the language that it uses to speak with the other programs. Now, we know that smart contracts are going to revolutionize the world as we know it. But as it stands today, their use cases are extremely limited. They are confined within the blockchain and data on the blockchain. So basically what that looks like is like if I send you one Ethereum token, you send me back 150 10x tokens or whatever, that is our smart contract, and that contract is trustless and verifiable. Problem is that it's stuck within the Ethereum world, and it's confined within only the data that Ethereum understands. And what Chainlink does is that it solves that problem of how do I get real world data into the smart contract to prove performance? How do I get data into a contract to make a payment that satisfies the agreement of the contract with trusted and verifiable data? Today, of the dApps that exist now, they only interact with like the movement of tokens, and that's only really going to represent just 10% of use case in the future of blockchain. In the future, 90% of use cases of decentralized applications will be real world agreements, programmatic insurance contracts, programmatic financial contracts that need to know proof of performance. They'll need to know input about price changes and locations of goods being shipped and the temperature that those goods were shipped at along its route, and whether the insurance event occurred, whether the magnetic lock on the door was engaged during a robbery, and things like that. All these inputs need to be given to the contract in a secure way that allows it to remain secure and tamper-proof. And the way this is done is through the Oracle system that Chainlink provides. Now, some people ask the question like, well, hey, don't we already have oracles? Like, don't oracles already exist? Isn't there already a $50 billion company that exists called Oracle? And yes, it is possible to use external data to inform these contracts with existing oracles. But the problem is that the process is centralized. And that is a major problem that must be fixed for real world adoption to take place, because it can lead to a conflict of interest. Oracles that get their data must operate in a decentralized fashion in order for them to be trusted and secure. If a smart contract, if it gets a false data feed, it can pay out the incorrect party, or if a smart contract, the insurance data feed gets tampered with by the insured party, you could have insurance fraud. Or if GPS data is given to a trade finance contract that can be modified after it leaves the data provider, then payment can be released for goods that haven't even arrived, right? So this is a real problem that Chainlink is trying to provide a solution for. And the way that Chainlink eliminates this problem is through 1, distributing data sources, and 2, distributing oracles, right? And this ensures a decentralized network that can guarantee safety and security. So a common concern I hear amongst potential investors is that oracles for smart contracts won't work because the sources that the data is derived from are single centralized sources. I'm just like, yeah, that's true, but a very simple way to deal with a faulty single source is to obtain data from multiple sources. It's a very simple fix. Or to distribute the data sources. The key is that the point of failure should be at the data source itself, not the oracle. Okay, an oracle just relays the data, and that's the only concern it should have, not security. A good contract can and should use multiple sources of data to combat the risk of hacking, fraud, manipulation, things like that. So to give you an example, like NBA sports betting, an NBA sports betting contract should check a number of sources to protect against manipulation. So NBA.com, ESPN.com, FoxSports.com. The more sources checked, the more reliable the contract will pay the winner. And the point of failure no longer is the centralized oracle. The point of failure is if anybody is manipulating the data source. But now, instead of attacking one source to manipulate the contract in their favor, now somebody has to attack multiple sources, and that makes the contract much more secure. That's the type of security that established banks and financial institutions require to even think about using blockchain technology. And Chainlink's technology, by utilizing their little secret sauce, it gives them that possibility. And just as data sources can be distributed, the ideal service Oracle itself needs to be distributed and approximated. It needs to be a distributed system. So instead of a single, monolithic Oracle node, we can instead have a collection of different Oracle nodes, and their data sets, may or may not overlap with those of other oracles. And some oracles will be faulty. That's, to be expected, because it's going to be the set of all Oracle answers that will be aggregated, in a trustworthy way into a single authoritative value. Okay. So basically, users who are going to be running the nodes, they'll purchase information from different centralized data providers, and they'll compete against each other to provide the most accurate information to the end users. Another concern that I hear often is that the team Chainlink, they only have 2 developers, like as if that matters. Like, the funny thing is, I'm pretty sure those concerns are coming from the same people who are crying that they missed the boat on AntShares, right? Back when it was AntShares and not Neo. You guys remember that? Well, guess what? AntShares only had 2 core developers, right? And it just goes to show you that, the old saying rings true. It's about quality, not quantity. A lot of big tech companies that we all know and love, they started out with only 2 core devs. One of them was Microsoft, and the other guy was Paul Allen, okay? So that shouldn't be a concern, if you're a long-time investor. And it's something that's going to fix itself, as the project gets more popular. So right now, what I'm doing for you guys today is providing you with some foresight so that you can get involved with the project before it becomes Microsoft, right? So if you're going to worry yourself with something petty like that, not only will you not make money, but you don't deserve to make any money because, you're too damn petty, right? You don't be petty like that, all right? If there's anything that's going to make you money just from buying it and holding it, it's definitely going to be Chainlink, right? This is one of, the few projects where you can actually set it up like a business if you hold enough link tokens. Like, as far as masternodes goes, well, there is no set number of tokens that is needed to run a node, but the chances you'll be paid for running a node increase with the more tokens you hold. So the network, they utilize the link token to pay the node operators for the retrieval of data from off-chain data feeds, formatting data into blockchain readable formats, off-chain computation, and uptime, which guarantees that you get paid as an operator. So you basically, as an operator, are going to be paid by these large companies who want to utilize the oracles. And in order for a smart contract on networks like Ethereum to use a Chainlink node, they will need to pay in link tokens, right? And the prices will be set by you, the node operator, and it's based on demand for the off-chain resource that Chainlink provides. Okay, so obviously the more link tokens that you hold, the more you'll be viewed by the community as a trusted node operator because you're paid in link tokens. So therefore, it incentivizes you to hold those link tokens, and it also, that also enhances the value. So it only gets better. Seriously, I think Chainlink is one of the most valuable projects in the crypto space right now. It's definitely a lot bigger than what anybody thinks it is right now. There's no hype, there's no fluff by the team, and once the data behind how much companies can actually save by using this, it's going to become apparent, and you're going to see a lot of companies using them. So they've already wanted to use this. Companies, smart companies on the cutting edge, they've wanted this for years, but it wasn't until now that this was even a possibility. And right now you have an opportunity to be a part of every economy of the future right now. If you're 100% sure that smart contracts are going to impact a majority of industry over the next 3 years, then this is the project that you can pretty much guarantee is going to be the bridge to bring that to fruition. So you have a chance to get in on everything. They've got a partnership with Swift, which is in use by 11,000 bank backends, which for me means that they can surpass a Ripple-like market capitalization like in due time. They have a partnership with Factum. They have the ability to be middleware for all types of companies, all types of projects, retail payment systems, web APIs, events data, market data, back-end systems, everything on and off the blockchain. Like opportunities we can't even picture it yet. We can't even imagine it. And because of that, that really makes it truly one of those like cliche sky's the limit opportunities. But one thing to keep in mind though is that Chainlink, the team, they're low key. They're kind of like Ant Shares was in the beginning. Like if you were around for that, they don't really do a lot of the hype stuff. So if you're looking for a coin that's gonna like stroke your desire to get a minute by minute update on what's going on every second, this isn't the project for you. Chainlink is doing exactly what they need to be doing right now, which is putting their product in front of the right targeted companies that want to use this product to begin the implementation of smart contracts into their business. And us as just speculators, crypto speculators, we're not their target audience, so don't expect the hype, okay? But at the same time, it's not necessarily a bad thing because this is for the long term, and that's actually pretty healthy for the network to keep that hype and attention away from the wrong people. So that's pretty much all I got for this Chainlink review. Acquire more rich coins, stay away from shit coins. Zay.Gatsby from Coin Leakers. Peace out.
My God, too much. Yeah.